Welcome to the Sourcing Industry Landscape Podcast, powered by SIG Org and hosted by Dawn Tiura.
Well, folks, welcome back to the podcast series. My name is Dawn Tiura, and with me today is Rana Karimi, and she is from ProcureAbility. Now, we are shooting this live in person together, which I'm really excited, at the beautiful Omni Grove Park Inn in Asheville during the Global Executive Summit. And I am going to jump in to let you get to know Rana, and I have a bunch of questions for her. But folks, first, we're going to take a quick break for a word from our sponsor.
Sourcing Industry Group, or SIG, is the premier global sourcing association and is widely known as a forum for providing thought leadership, networking, and training opportunities. Another central element of SIG is training. SIG is the parent organization for SIG University, which was founded on the ideals of elevating sourcing and risk professionals to deliver strategic value to their organizations and transform their careers. It was created at the request of SIG members who saw an educational training gap for today's workforce and offers one-of-a-kind certification and training programs for professionals seeking deep expertise in sourcing, governance, risk, intelligent automation, and more for themselves and for their teams. We perfected e-learning for adults before it was necessary. Our proven model for adult learners provides a flexible environment with online lessons, quizzes, and discussion forums moderated by expert faculty. Programs are offered in several different delivery models depending on you or your organization's need. Open cohort semesters start on average every 1.5 months, while closed cohorts for teams of 20 or more can start at any time. In addition, we also have self-paced or fast-track options. You can learn more about all of these offerings on the SIG website or by reaching out to one of our representatives. So make sure to take advantage of all that SIG has to offer for both members and non-members alike, because there really is something for everyone.
Well, welcome back, Rana. So I have known you now for several years. So let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
College, where'd you go?
Absolutely. I went to the University of Texas at Austin, where I was actually an engineering major. So from engineering, I launched into a career as a practicing mechanical engineer. I started out in oil and gas and at a product center in Houston. And I was in these technical roles working with supply chain, but indirectly. And then from there, I just realized, engineering's fun, but it's a little too heads down for me, and it's not as dynamic, and there's not as much relationship building that we do in supply chain, and especially in sourcing and procurement when you're talking to different clients and suppliers, and the marketplace is also dynamic and constantly changing. So I felt like from engineering, I wanted to kind of evolve and take that more dynamic and that next step to kind of branch out into something else that's more relationship oriented and more evolving.
I do. I absolutely agree, though. Having a hard science background, so when I ran a consulting firm, I always wanted people that had a hard science undergrad, engineering, mathematics, science of some sort. The sourcing you can be taught, and then the people skills you can develop, but you need to have that analytical brain. So I think it's a perfect background. Now, where did you go after you were an engineer? Did you go right into ProcureAbility?
I didn't. I started my career at a different professional services firms, and that was where I learned sourcing. And so I got my footing within that space, and I started meeting with different clients and learning the strategic sourcing methodology, learning category management, and how we implement these tools with our clients. And then from there, I really wanted to kind of do sourcing, but on a different scale in a smaller firm that would allow me to do more firm building, more relationship building, impact more of our accelerators and our tools, our go-to-market strategy. At a big firm, those opportunities are there, but at a smaller firm where you can really get your hands on something and take ownership of it and kind of see it through from start to end, that was so exciting for me. So I was looking for that, and then that's how I got into ProcureAbility.
Okay, and you've been with ProcureAbility how long?
Almost 3. It'll be my 3-year anniversary in just 2 months.
So I think I met you right when you first joined then.
Exactly. Yeah, because right when I first joined, I spent some time as a senior consultant with our clients, but then not too long after, I was asked to kind of join the solutions team and go to conferences and meet our industry partners and have these conversations with the rest of the market to try to unpack, their opportunity areas and connect it to a solution that ProcureAbility could offer them.
Oh, I think that's awesome. So yesterday you went on a brewery tour on the La Ramba bus.
Yes.
How was that?
Oh, it was an absolute blast. We had such a happening time on the bus. It was so fun. There was the live band. They were playing jazz hits and pop and sing-alongs. It was a blast. Everyone was snapping selfies. We had a great time just getting to know each other. And in that social and community building kind of forum was so much fun for us. So we really liked having that opportunity and getting to build those relationships on that kind of level.
And it's day one of the conference.
Exactly.
Which is, so now you have so many friends that you met and hung out with for the afternoon.
30 new friends, all my new procurement friends, and some familiar places, which is another reason why we love coming to SIG, is seeing, our former clients, our current clients, our prospective clients that we hope to have, as well as meeting, the folks that we haven't yet gotten to build that relationship with. But you give us that opportunity to get in front of them and then build the connections. And it always just starts with, a conversation, getting to know each other. And then from there, we kind of evolve and we find, an opportunity that we could partner on. And that's the type of evolution that we love to see from.
It's so much more natural than a hard sell, because I know the first time I spoke at SIG as a consultant, I sold a several $million engagement.
Oh.
I thought, wow, cha-ching. I didn't sell anything again. It just happened to be not ever, but it just happened to be my message that day was exactly what somebody was looking for as a solution. And, but what I did find over the next few years, while no one else had this aha moment at the summit, they started inviting me to their RFPs because they now knew who I was. They knew my capabilities.
Exactly.
And so by just having you coming back time and time again, they're starting to get to know you.
Absolutely.
And they're starting to trust you and they're starting to understand you. And slowly but surely you can then unpack all the capabilities that your firm has to offer.
Yeah, for sure. And so much of that is just the relationship building.
It is.
And the more organic that is, I feel it just positions the relationship up for more growth than, more facilitated. So it's another great, you build so much, you create the great community at SIG for both the buy and the sell side to come together really well like that. So we like being here, and we're a huge fan of SIG and looking forward to more, more of your summits and staying engaged in the community that you've built.
Good. I would love to keep you more engaged and just continue to bring your staff in and let them get to know people. And I have to just always tell you, I appreciate the non-sales environment that you guys create. And it is just talking to people and getting to know them.
Exactly.
So on a personal note, where do you reside?
Dallas, Texas.
Oh, so you're still in Texas?
I am.
Okay.
I'm a native Texan. I might not sound like it, but I'm a city Texan. So
Okay.
I don't have that deep of the Southern accent. It's like the
I wouldn't
city
have
version.
guessed. Yes.
Yeah. I do have a cat. So
Okay.
I am a cat mom, and me and the little cat, we have a cool little condo in uptown Dallas, and it suits us just fine. And got our friends nearby. In fact, one of my neighbors also has an orange cat, and I always feel like one day I'm gonna open my condo door and there are 2 orange cats are gonna be there because my neighbor and we just hang out and we bring our cats over, and
that's cute.
Like there might be Churro instead of Pee-wee there one night. So
Heaven forbid. We get them mixed up. So tell me, in procurement, where do you see the future of procurement going? Do you get nervous about all this automation and AI and generative AI, or is it exciting to you?
I think it is exciting. It is an opportunity to evolve with the changing technology, and AI can bring so much efficiency to our procurement organizations. With that, we really need to still wear that strategic hat and to be able to apply it, most correctly to the right use case. And it's that decision-making process, that logic-based process that needs to be applied so that we can best rationalize the use of AI in procurement. And
Absolutely.
really having that, strong consideration for where it can be used and how. And we're still going to need to apply, our judgment to making those calls.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there'll ever be a time where your services won't be needed. I think there's always going to be something else that we have to learn, that we have to change in our structure. I mean, just think about third-party risk. Back when I was doing consulting, it wasn't even a conversation we had. And we talked about, we didn't want to have everything concentrated with one supplier, perhaps. And occasionally we'd say we want to have multiple countries involved for more weather-related risk. But third-party risk was never like it is today. So I think as this keeps coming on, I think we're always going to find new and evolving issues that need to be solved, and that consulting can actually serve.
Exactly. And when you think about the cornerstone of procurement, it goes back to those relationships. We were talking about at SIG, the ones that we can start developing here, but procurement, really interfunctionally from cross-functional organization to one to another, procurement really needs to help navigate those relationships. When you look at technology, it's great for enabling efficiency and scale, but there's not going to be a replacement for having those strategic negotiations or the face-to-face or the hard conversations. All of that is going to be, it's going to be grounded in the relationship that's had. And so that's where I think, that's another non-negotiable in procurement is that skill set is going to need to be retained, and we need to really capitalize on that and integrating that when also ingesting the AI technology on top of it.
I agree. So the services that ProcureAbility offers, can you list them all?
Absolutely. Thank you for that. We have 4 main business offerings. We have advisory, which is strategic consulting support. So anything strategic sourcing and above on the procurement value chain. Then we have managed services, so sourcing execution kind of downstream on the value chain. So things like contracting, PR to PO, invoice reconciliation, all the operational stuff. And then we have digital services. So within that, we have analytics as a service. That's where we can ingest all your spend data, aggregate it, cleanse it, categorize it, and we create, our own visualization platform that we can give you to run your sourcing events. And then finally, talent services, so staffing and recruiting services to help you find really that right procurement skill set to grow your organization. So our goal is to be your one-stop shop for all your procurement needs, from strategic support, the day-to-day, leveraging the right tools, and rounding it out with the right procurement team.
That's perfect. So I just want to thank you, Rana, for taking the time to meet with me and for joining the podcast. So folks, this is Rana from ProcureAbility. Make sure that you get to know her, add her to your network, make sure that she's someone that you reach out to. And thank you for your time today.
Dawn, thanks. It's always a pleasure. Appreciate
always a
the
pleasure.
opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the Sourcing Industry Landscape podcast through iTunes or your favorite podcast app. Want to nominate yourself or someone else for an interview? Email us at podcast@sig.org.